We are now going to go over the Scion changes that were announced today. So let's see. In the upcoming 3.0 beta, the Ascendant, Scion Ascendancy class, will undergo some significant changes that focus on making the class more powerful and on par with other classes. We've done this by taking some of the more build-defining features from the other 18 Ascendancy classes and incorporating them into the Ascendant tree. Now, something we also talked about yesterday was that either Scion is completely OP or underpowered. There's very hard to find an in-between. So let's see what they've done. Almost the entire Ascendant tree has changed, with the defining features of other Ascendancy classes available and able to be paired with each other's. This should increase the power of Ascendant to be more comparable with other classes and enable some previously never before. I bet you can probably do two of the same then, right? While it's largely the passives changing, the path of passives allowed you to start another class tree, but also grant 2 additional passives. Oh. Check out the full tree changes. Necromancer. 20% skill duration. 30%. Are you affected? Okay, so you're not affected by the offering. 50% reduced reflect damage taken. Wow. Damage penetrates 6%. Gain elemental conflux when you kill a rare or unique enemy. Can summon up to. Wow, the elementalist is. Okay, right. So after having read 2, it sounds like Path of Scion. That's after reading 2, mind you. 20% increased maximum energy shield. 1% of energy shield regenerated per second.
Drop it.
I really need to turn that off while reading this. Thank you so much for the sub, bromance. I will. Oops. Let's just finish reading all of this. Thank you so much, dude. We'll do the sorting quest after. Really appreciate the sub, dude. 20% increase down if you kill a cursed enemy. Okay, so Cultist at least doesn't have any of the regen stuff. I've turned off the Clairbuster for now. I was actually expecting Occultist to be the more OP one. Elementalist seems to be super strong. Scion. The Necromancer one is... Yeah, skill effectuation is pretty OP actually. So both Necromancer is strong. Elementalist seems OP. Saboteur. 5% increased damage for each trap and mine. 20%. 10% increased movement speed if you place a mine. Traps and... Okay, well, I hate traps to begin with, so I'm like predispositioned to hate this, but it seems unreasonable. Assassin, 1.5 crit strike chance base, 40% crit. Multiplier against enemies that are on full life, 20% chance to gain a power charge on hit against enemies that are on full life. Wow, so Elementalist Assassin already seeming like a really strong combo. Sub is trash? Okay, cool. Crit strikes with attacks main enemies. Yeah, okay, so Elementalist and it seems good. I like it. Is there a reason to play normal Elementalist over Scion Elementalist though? This seems stronger. Just gain elemental conflux for 6 seconds? I guess the other one is on for boss fights. I have a hard time with staying on one topic. Trickster, 50% increased recovery of rate of life, mana, or energy shield if you killed an enemy affected by your damage over time recently. Very specific. 20 more chance to evade, 20% increased damage. While on full ES and while not on full ES. 15 mana regenerated per second if you use a movement skill. The Trickster is trash. Trickster's probably the worst ascendancy thing I've ever seen. That's actually... Oh yeah, Prolif. Yeah, okay, that's fair. You're right. Trickster's actual, like, they might as well just not... I can't see anyone ever taking that. Actually, so trash. Pathfinder, 10% increased movement speed. 50% chance to gain a fast charge. And you deal a... critical strike. What? 50% chance to gain a fast charge when you deal a critical strike. Okay. 30% increased damage while using a flask. 10% chance for your flask not to consume charges. So Pathfinder Hybrid's pretty alright. Raider, 10% movement speed, 4% dodge. You have Onslaught while in full frenzy. And 10% chance to gain a frenzy when you hit a rare enemy or unique. Okay, so Raider is actually very good too. Especially for bosses. Deadeye, chances of projectiles piercing, 30%. 30% projectile speed. Projectiles gain damage as they travel further. And skills fire an additional projectile. Deadeye being crazy as well. Well, we're gonna see a lot of Scions, I think. Not Trickster ones. Slayer, 50% reduced damage rate. Really? Really? Slayer as well? Wow. 40% increased damage during its rares or uniques. Life leech are not removed. At full life, you're damaging hits. Always stun enemies that are on full life. At least it didn't get AoE, I guess. But Champion, 20% chance to fortify on melee hit, 20% chance to taunt on hit. You and nearby allies have 30% increased damage. While you have fortify, 5% reduced damage taken from taunted enemies. Gladiator, 4% additional block chance. Attacks have 20% chance to cause bleeding. 3% increased movement speed for each hit you've blocked recently, and 30% increased damage if you've killed a bleeding enemy recently. I wonder if this stacks. I'm guessing it does. That would be interesting. I was going to say with double dipping, but obviously double dipping's gone. But either way, like, can you just spam 5 worm flasks and then one-shot bosses? Chieftain, 15% chance to ignite, 30% increased damage while you have a totem. So Chieftain and Hierophant or something's probably going to be OP. Regenerate 2% of your max life per second while you have a totem. Gain 50% of your physical less. Extra fire damage if you were killed recently. Cool. Juggernaut, 30% increased armor. Cannot be chilled. 20% chance to gain endurance charge when you are hit. You cannot be stunned while you're at max endurance charges. Might be more useful in the next meta, I guess. Berserker, 5% increased damage taken, 10% more damage, 1% damage leeches life if you killed it recently. What do I mana leech too? 20% increased attack, cast, and movement speed if you've taken a savage hit recently. Okay, so Berserker is sort of shit compared to the real one. Hierophant, skills in your helm can have up to 1 additional totem summon at a time, 25% mana, 10% mana as extra energy shield. 50% chance to gain a power charge when you place a totem. Kinda strong. Interesting. Guardian, 25% reduced effect on curses. Conduit. You and allies have a 5% additional block chance, 10% attack, cast, and movement speed. Inquisitor, 25% increased elemental damage. Take 8% reduced elemental damage while in Conqueron. 120% increase affected by element statuses, and 30% chance. Inquisitor is pretty shit. That's badass, dude. I mean, yeah. Scion's definitely gonna be used now. Definitely gonna be used now. So Necromancer's okay. I feel people are undervaluing 20% skill effect duration for a lot of things. Just straight up 20% skill duration, which is pretty good for a lot of things. Elementalist, really, really strong. Will definitely be used. Occultist, kind of pants. Saboteur is shit. Assassin's amazing. Trickster's actually never gonna be picked. Not a single person's gonna pick it. Just those people who have Shape Factory. Pathfinder's alright. Raiders alright. Deadeye's alright. Mostly because of the additional projectile saves it a bit, I guess. Champion's terrible. Slayer's good. Maybe too strong. Gladiator could be OP with the Worm Flask. Chieftain's shit. Juggernaut's shit. Berserker's shit. Not completely, I'm sure people will play them. Not as shit as Trickster. Hierophant, yeah. Yeah. Maybe. Guardian and Inquisitor are terrible. Hopefully you guys enjoyed Whale Sounds with Zizaroon.